Hi everyone, this is Erin, and I have a letter here dated Tuesday, January the 10th, 2018 from Russell Landers, who's been in jail for 22 years where there's no victim and no crime. Another patriot political prisoner from long ago in America, in the USA, a Christian man. And we hope that you pray for him and his release because he really deserves to get out of that hellhole. And if you don't want to listen to me reading the letter, you're welcome to go read it yourself. It's downloaded on yearofjubilee.com. That's one E like the King James Bible spells it. And I'll start here. It says, "Dearest," and I'll say brothers and sisters, "Burr, I'm sure that you have seen Minnesota winter starting off the new year. Please forgive my slow speed to get off this sharing with you. I missed about a week due to the flu. It went around the entire unit. Most, like me, were confined to bed for 2 or 3 days. Not to worry, the Lord has come through for me and I am chipper again. This is another reminder, Eucharistio, Greek Thanksgiving. I am so very, very thankful. Your generosity is almost overwhelming. I pray your blessings are truly multiplied and that the Lord shows His mercy on all. Thank you." I received a Christmas card from Shelley of Philip of Montana. Is she any relation? This causes some confusion, as when there is a generous sharing on True Links Des Moines, all that I'm shown is a last name. I'm sure that you shared with me, but due to her writing your last name, I must ask. Smile. All of your special efforts for the care of those at your work is, I'm sure, much appreciated. I too am especially moved knowing that you are devoted to that service. You shared how you had served overnight for a co-worker and the quiet time that you enjoyed. Nonetheless, it is all essential for the care and comfort of those who live there. LOL. You mentioned the reaction of those who have came to know that this nightmare has been ongoing for 22 years. It is just like in Nazi Germany where the people did not know what was going on right under everyone's noses. The recent development that has resulted in all of the people in the Bundy matter, the judge must have gotten cold feet as it's a she, noted the violations, inclusive of violating due process and the intent for locking up more innocent American people. This is an indication of truth that should alarm everyone. There is no such thing as federal laws that legitimately arrest, prosecute, or imprison we the people. It is all violations of law, not only due process, but every law that is firm and supposed to protect the lives, liberty, and property of we the people. The travesty is beyond comprehensible. I pray that your Christmas and New Year's went well for you, your sister, and loved ones. Here it was quiet, and I was blessed with some telephone moments with our family. I could immediately relate to the black ice on the freeway for your coworker. Before all this, over the 20-plus years that I traveled over 4 million miles in every effort for getting it right, there were plenty of run-ins with those conditions. Thank God when we are safe. Truly, all around us we are reminded that we are just witness visiting here. This temporal life is not our home. Our dominion is in heaven. We are live our allegiance to the soil of the country where we were born and the state where we were born, not the United States. Myself, as an example, my allegiance to the soil of Floyd County, Iowa State, not State of Iowa. Details. The people duped all of their life are cajoled into waiving all of the protections of the Constitution for the United States of America, the Declaration of Independence, the state constitution, etc. When one is presumed to have waived the protections of law, he or she has then bound themselves as a debtor who has no rights to the agreement or bargain of the parties. An example is the signature on the application for a license from the state, i.e. driver's license. Though the people, by definition, will never drive, transport persons or property for hire, they waive their right for liberty in lieu of the privilege of driving. Bunch of quotes here. Such, quote, waivers are replete throughout the public scheme. The country has been stolen via consent, assent, and not one in a million realizes how they have been robbed. Your signature is the most powerful and valuable thing that one owns and like Esau, most swap are for a bowl of lentils. The public school system has the smallest children putting their name, signature on everything without any consciousness of what they are doing to their own detriment. Result, the average man or woman will sign almost anything without even giving it a thought. The man or woman who is being asked to sign is the authority, not the other way around. How many get it? Surely your prayers for our unsaved friend who likes black ice is going to be moved by the prayers of those of us who see the light. That New Age scheme has been a stumbling block for many. I have known good friends who are still on my prayer list. The deceiver is behind it all. The universalist crap that all paths lead to heaven is the biggest lie of all. I have studied the doctrine of faith, rest with interest, and benefit from the same. I have shared it with a brother here who is a fellow Christian, and he indicates beneficial results as well. I am grateful for your sharing, and I will pass it on for the benefit of the next reader. Remember, AFPs, just for laughs. Thanks, but no thanks. Question mark. It may tickle your funny bone, but also serves as a reminder as to how foolish so many of our ambitions are, and oh, how true it is. The Smart Speaker competition, shared as by Joe Jarvis, is a true representation of a serious privacy problem, but it goes even further. I have a fellow traveler here who has experienced a technical reality that is very unsettling. His acquaintance was a technical whiz who demonstrated that he could reach back through time and retrieve a landline or any other kind of telephone call or electronic transmission that has ever been initiated. He demonstrated retrieving a telephone call at random that was made 15 years earlier that I cannot explain, but the man who shared it with me has proven to be an honorable and truthful man to me. On the God line, of course, our Lord is privy to every word. The Question Evolution brochure with a chimp face on the face of it, relating 15 questions for evolutionists, has proven to be a fun as well as serious reference. I kidded a couple of those who I'm traveling with by stating, "A picture of your grandpa." They are not convinced. Haha, smile. I'm keeping it close for future use. The devil always prodding. I've had the experience of our grandson and his young wife having difficulties making good decisions. It is a lack of focus and structure laced with the distractions of the world around them. In high school, people, them too, have structure and objectives, i.e., graduation, and plans for the future that guide them through their days, but after, if they do not have established goals and a daily determination for moving structurally forward, it is far too easy to get caught up in nonsense that leads to consequences that distract from the life that the Lord would have us live. It is a blessing in this present situation that our son, 35, and his wife are a caring and good example for our grandson and his wife. Our Michael, a middle school assistant principal and athletic director, and Catherine, his wife, Proverbs 31, verses 10 to 31, and mother of two, are willing for helping and a good example of where the younger would like to be in a few years. We are prayerfully hopeful for good results as we work through this. Mike is my substitute. The news from the surrounding world is encouraging as progress is made for our friends in Texas are on duty and others around the globe are doing their parts in prayer and ambitions for setting the record straight. How can we ever thank them for their courage and prayerful works? The Lord has selected the very best for his work in our present day. As for me and my household, we shall serve the Lord. Joshua. Here the air has warmed. It is wet and foggy at times. The snow has come and is for the moment now gone. Here they really do not know what winter is. Temperatures drop to a couple degrees below zero, but nothing like the 30 below zero that have touched others. Snow was about 1.5 inches, so no big deal. I've put a little reminder of tropical paradise here so that the winter will not get to us so easily. Smile. On the reverse, I share some of the things that I have passed me here in the gulags of North America. I pray that you find them moving and revealing that we do in fact have matters in need of remedy. And there's lots of cute little pictures stuck on the side. Nice stationery work. I can never limit my view of my situation to myself, as this corruption is causing suffering for untold members of people. Millions of people have suffered fines, arrests, confiscations of their properties, and far worse, all unlawful abuses for sake of the real crime ring, the Potomac Mafia, and their accomplices all across America and around the globe. The people so caught up in the complications in the day-to-day grind, and so many without Jesus, it is no wonder the whole scene is such a mess. The Bundy travesty is an example of just how far from right the whole mess has become. Clearly, when a few states have become bastions as prisons and jails, and others do not have such overages, there is something unrelated to crime and punishment going on. The states of California, Texas, North Carolina, and New York are loaded with prisons and prisoners, and others are not. The writing is on the wall. False imprisonments for profits, a travesty that cannot be justified by any legitimate means. Millions victimized, dragged through the unlawful federal scam in the last 5 decades. Their lives destroyed, their reputations crushed, and all done by unlawful, illegal means for greed and unrighteous dominion. Adolf Hitler never had it so good. People are so dumbed down that they actually fall for the idea that so many things that are not crime at all are actually crimes. The public fool system has been so effective that all of this is hidden in plain sight, and it is not some seedy cartel responsible. It is in fact the state and federal oath takers who have breached their oaths and are exploiting the people for wrongful gains. Lies, thefts, and murder, the trademarks of the so-called governments. It is far worse than anything in the history of mankind. They have made it appear legitimate as they destroy the people. Conditioned for getting a good education and getting a good job, well-meaning people get out of school and go to work for the oppressors and do not even have a clue as to what they are involved in. It does not dawn on them that doing what they are being instructed to do to others is in fact real crimes against the people, hidden in plain sight. It is near impossible for one to describe what we are witness to in these gulags of America. There are so many aspects to the oppressive experience that one cannot understand until he or she has experienced it for themselves. Before this happened to me, I had experience intervening for several people in the system of jails for profits, and yet I was not never aware of the very worst and the actual impact of it on the people. It is my contention that even prison employees do not get it. The full exposure of all of this is mushrooming all across a spectrum of social media and other platforms that can no longer be covered up. The mess has reached critical mass. Nearly everyone is aware of several people who are in prisons and jails and are asking why those people have been arrested, fined, robbed, jailed. It is not possible that legitimate prosecution of so many people can be justified. It is obviously a horrid scam for profits. Those who go to employment in the scam do not last long before they must see the evil that they are mixed up in. One of the first things that I became aware of upon being so wrongfully attacked and abused was that in the jails and in the prisons, one is often safer in the jails and the prisons than he or she would be at the mall. The people who are being imprisoned more often than not are not criminals, and those who are doing this to them are not innocent. What kind of legislative actors can imagine that they can create crime by legislative fiat? The Constitution never allowed for such a scheme. Crime is the product of the perpetrator and the victim, never the product of being in violation of legislative acts. Justice cannot be the product of a business for profit ran for the common treasury. And that is, in fact, exactly what it has been since the New Deal scam. Locking up millions of people and raping them with fines and confiscations is not productive. It is, in fact, counterproductive. A devastating impact on the lives of every man, woman, and child in the land. The matter of settling crime and punishment cannot be the center for profit and employment. It is a cost to society, not the top taxation center for supporting the corruption, as has become the case in today's so-called justice system. It is far removed from justice. I look forward for the next time we can enjoy more conversation. May the Lord bless you and keep you, dear sister. These are times that the Lord is teaching us much that will be a blessing in His kingdom come. Eucharisto. God bless. Rex Russell Dean. Landers. And then he draws a little cowboy hat man. And he's got some pictures of horses here that are nice. Anyway, please keep him in your prayers. He speaks the truth. He's in there because he's a Christian patriot, political prisoner, and you know it. Thanks. Good night.